Have you ever known exactly what you should do and still not do it? You have the knowledge, you've read the books, you've listened to the podcasts, uh, the lists are made, you promised yourself Monday would be different, and then you just watch yourself repeat the same week again. If that's you, I want to start with one distinction in this series about getting unstuck, because everything in the series will build on it. Feeling stuck is not the same as being incapable. I know it feels as if you're incapable from the inside because the inside of stuckness is very convincing. Because you wake up with the same heaviness, you think the same thoughts, the decision you avoided yesterday is still waiting for you today, and you watch yourself not follow through again. And after enough repetitions, it's easy to start believing that this is just the way you are. And then it turns into a specific sentence. I am stuck. Notice that sentence. I am stuck. The moment a pattern, you keep not doing the things you say you want to do, becomes an identity, you stop fighting it and you start accepting it. And every time you repeat the sentence, you reinforce the identity and accept it even more. So in this first video of 5, I want to untangle this whole stuckness thing. Now, what we will discuss might make you uncomfortable, but I also hope that it will help you be honest and curious, because without that, you will just keep on repeating the pattern and stay stuck. Stuckness is rarely like one big problem. It is usually a specific loop. And once you see the loop, you will then have more power to break it, to break free from it. Let me show you the loop. It starts with discomfort. Discomfort comes in different flavors. Fear is one, and so is shame. Some days it is uncertainty, resentment, or just plain exhaustion. And also, there are two others, maybe a little bit more complex. One is the pain of wanting something and at the same time not trusting yourself to go after it. Self doubt, we might call it. And the other is a knowledge that a different life might actually ask you to change. That also creates discomfort because who am I then? Will I be okay? Will I be judged if I change? So after this discomfort comes avoidance. You delay, you find something else that suddenly needs your attention. There's research that you must do, a plan to refine, a new productivity app to try out. And there is always a condition to meet first: a calmer house, older kids, work settling down a bit before you actually allow yourself to take action. And the really frustrating and fascinating part of the avoidance is that it works and it works well. That's the problem. It gives us relief. It's very comforting in contrast to this discomfort. So it comforts us with the idea, don't worry, you will get to it later. So you don't send the message, or for a few minutes, and for a few minutes you feel safer. You leave the project untouched for a while, and it buys you a few hours of not having to face the possibility that it might not be good enough. Skipping an important conversation with your partner keeps the peace for another day. Whatever it is that you avoid in those moments, it gets rid of the discomfort and replaces it with something else: relief and the false assurance that you will get to it later. Your nervous system learns fast. It learns that avoidance reduces the discomfort. So the next time the discomfort appears, your system reaches for the same solution every time. And so the stuckness loop grows. So then the cost arrives. This is the third part of the loop. The task grows while you've been waiting or postponing. The conversation gets harder to have. Your business idea starts to feel a little unrealistic. And meanwhile, your body carries the stress, your confidence dips, and your trust in yourself gets eroded. Now you're not only dealing with the original problem, you are dealing with the evidence that you can't trust yourself. That is why just take action usually does not work. It ignores this loop. It assumes the problem is information. But when you are stuck, information is rarely the thing that is missing. You know what you could do. You have enough advice in your head already. The issue is not knowledge, the issue is agency. Agency is the ability to make conscious choices and take purposeful action that influences the direction of your life. It does not mean you control everything that happens. It means you recognize where you still have choice and act from that place. Without agency, capable people can still feel stuck. Capability means you have skills. Agency is the lived sense that what I do matters, that my next action can influence my life, that I'm not a spectator watching my fears, my habits, my obligations determine my future. So those are not the same thing. A capable person can still be living from reaction and be stuck. Your talent and skills, your smarts can be organized entirely around your fear. And you can be responsible and successful, admired even, and still be just as stuck. So when agency drops, you do not only lose momentum, you lose the permission. You start waiting for life to make the next move before you take action, for your mood to improve, for other people to change, for the path to become obvious. But a path that asks no courage from you is usually not the path into more of your potential and into a meaningful next chapter. And when agency is low, life becomes heavy in a very specific way. You may still be busy and productive from the inside or from the outside, sorry, everything looks functional. But inside, you're not moving from choice. You're moving according to a specific survival pattern that you've rehearsed many times. So those are two different engines. The patterns keep your life running. You cannot make life feel meaningful and full of purpose. Somewhere between 30 and 55, stuckness starts looking a lot like normal life, like the standard, like this is what it's supposed to be. This is it. It does not look like you're falling apart. It just looks like maintenance. It's showing up, it's paying the bills, it's answering the emails, taking care of everyone. And in doing so, you slowly disappear from your own life. You develop great skill at surviving, yet remain unfamiliar with true aliveness. Let me say that another way. Though you have mastered survival, coping, being responsible, you remain estranged from a life truly lived. So reflect on that for a moment. You've become an expert at getting by, yet you are entirely unpracticed at truly living. So consequently, when asked what you truly want, you draw a blank. And this is not due to a lack of desire, but because those deeper longings have been smothered by the obligations, maybe setbacks, fatigue, and that need to protect yourself, to tell yourself, I will do it later. And beneath this repetitive cycle lie the driving forces that sustain it. And through my own experiences and my coaching work, I consistently observe five primary fields of this system, of this loop. The first of these is fear, the dread of failing, facing judgment, or falling short of your desires, along with the deep anxiety of alienating others who preferred you when you were predictable. You know, when you have to change to achieve something, certain people will say, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you now like this? You know, they liked you when you were kind of easier to manage or get by with. So this fear, it's not loud. It's not a scary thing. Instead, it disguises itself as practical advice, telling you to be realistic or that the timing is wrong. transforming your apprehension into what starts to look like common sense, like the responsibility of an adult. A responsible adult would do this and not that. Shame serves as the second fuel. So fear, then shame. It dictates that our inability to move is proof of a personal defect. Now, this conviction turns the loop toxic. If you believe you are stuck because you are fundamentally lazy, weak, broken, or you're lagging behind, then every effort to take action forces you to fight a war on two fronts. You must confront the task at hand, and you must confront your own self judgment. Now, that is simply, it's too much weight to place on a single small beginning. That's why we stay in the loop. So ultimately, shame never inspires genuine progress. It drives us into hiding. When you feel ashamed, you want to hide. You don't want to be seen. It might provoke a brief spike of, panic-induced action, but it fails to cultivate sustainable, self-respecting momentum. The third one is overwhelm, the third fuel. So, overwhelm occurs when your mind magnifies a single next step into an entire mountain range. Not just a mountain range. So, instead of suggesting walk for 10 minutes today, your mind demands fix your health. It transforms like that one page of a proposal into rebuilding the entire business, or a single honest sentence to your partner into fixing the whole relationship. So it's no wonder you freeze. Your brain simply was not designed to carry an entire future in one single action. So the fourth one is depletion. Stuckness isn't always a mindset problem, though this links to mindset as well. Sometimes it is just that you're exhausted. When your system is exhausted, it simply tries to protect you from burning even more energy. Recognizing this is it's crucial, because often people who are running on empty think it is a sign of laziness. Rather, it is clear evidence that your system requires restoration, better boundaries, proper support. Um, Maybe you should plug some energy leaks, people that drain your energy, or situations that drain your energy. So if you mistake depletion for a lack of discipline, you will end up applying even more pressure to a system that actually just desperately needs rest. A motivational speech won't help someone experiencing burnout. What they truly need is to establish a more honest relationship with their current capacity. What am I still capable to do? Okay, the fifth fuel is unclear values. So when your values are vague, every option competes for equal attention. You say yes because you do not know what you will protect if you say no. And the exciting goal wins over the aligned next action. That's exciting. This is the next action I should take. No, this wins every time. So you honor old, outdated commitments that you made as a completely different person. That's another thing. So commitments that now might cost you double or triple the amount of energy and effort than when you made them in the first place. So this includes commitments to friendships and other relationships when you actually need to break those commitments. So when our values are unclear, being busy replaces actual meaningful progress towards what we want. As long as we are busy, surely we must be doing something right, something good, or something productive. So now that we know about the loop and what fuels the loop, what are we supposed to do? So please don't try and fix your whole life. Just identify one old loop now that you can see it and you know what fuels it. And instead of judging the loop that you find, just get curious about it. Just kind of, wait a minute, why do I keep doing this? what is actually happening here? So think of one area in your life where you feel stuck. Your health, marriage, work, your money, your faith, parenting, your future. It doesn't matter, just choose one. Then write 5 sentences. Sentence one: when you think about this area, what do you want? Be specific. Avoid vague goals like I want to improve, because vagueness lacks a clear direction to move forward. Instead, try a precise sentence, a precise statement. I want to regain my physical strength. That's already more clear. I want to stop dodging sales conversations. If you have your own business, for example, I want to rebuild a deep connection with my partner rather than just coexisting like polite housemates. So, what do you want? Two, what discomfort shows up when you say, this is what I want? What's the discomfort that shows up? Is it fear, the shame, the fatigue? Is it confusion, anger, sadness, being vulnerable? All of those can be very uncomfortable. So, what's the discomfort? Write down the exact feeling, not the explanation behind the feeling itself. Next, number three, what do I do to avoid that discomfort? Is it scrolling, delaying, or overworking? Is it cleaning, snacking, endless research? Is it criticizing yourself, numbing out, or jumping to the rescue of others, helping others? Is it launching yet another new plan, or waiting because you tell yourself you need more clarity first? So, what do you do to avoid the discomfort? Number four, what relief do I get from avoiding? This one is important. Be honest about the payoff. You always get something out of the avoidance. Avoidance survives because it gives you something: safety, relief, sense of control, a break from the pressure, a sense that you still might do it later. Okay, five. What does that relief cost you? This is where it gets confronting and useful at the same time. It costs self trust first. That confidence gets eroded. Time, intimacy, health, opportunity. And eventually, we all pay um, with our untapped potential, unutilized potential that we waste because we don't take action. So that is the stuck loop: discomfort, avoidance, relief, cost, less confidence, more avoidance, and around we go. So once we see it, you can stop it. You can stop labeling yourself and break free from the loop. And remember, this pattern does not mean there is something wrong with you. When someone has a physical injury, we don't say there is something wrong with them. We say there is something that needs attention. And this loop and the pattern is the same. It was learned. It means it can be interrupted. But the interruption must be small enough to survive contact with real life. And this is where the next mistake usually happens. You see the loop and immediately build a massive, dramatic rescue plan: a new routine, a new journal, a new app, sometimes a whole new identity. And you're excited and you tell people about it. Then real life arrives on a Tuesday morning. Your child gets sick, the meeting runs late, you sleep badly. Someone sends you a harsh or difficult or confusing message. The plan collapses, and the shame uses the collapse as more evidence against you. So don't begin with a rescue plan, this massive plan. Begin with one simple and direct interruption of the loop. If the loop says, when I feel discomfort, I avoid, then the first interruption is, when I feel discomfort, I make contact for 2 minutes. 2 minutes isn't impressive. And that's why it works. 2 minutes tells your nervous system, we're not conquering the mountain today. We are just touching the path, just the first toe on the path. You send the first message, open the document, or put on your walking shoes. Write the first paragraph of that important document. Ask your partner, can we talk for a while? Then share your view in one sentence. Just start that conversation. And the purpose of that first action is not transformation. The purpose of that first action is just to collect evidence. Evidence that you can move while afraid, that you can begin before you feel ready. And you are not as trapped as the loop has made you believe. And this is important for the whole series. So let me say clearly, you do not think your way into agency, you act your way back into evidence. Thinking, reflection, insight, all have their place. I love those things. I love journaling. But if insight never becomes behavior, it becomes another place for us to hide, to get stuck in. Which brings me to the 3 false exits from stuckness. Watch out for these. The first deceptive escape route is chasing more information. I touched on it already. More information and motivation without taking action. While you might fully comprehend the pattern, it is easy to mistake the intellectual understanding for actual progress. Naming the loop gives it a label, but it does not interrupt its momentum. Just understanding it. Take action. The second false exit relies on sheer intensity, trying to undo years of drifting with one hyper-focused, dramatic week. That can feel like true commitment, but it usually masks underlying impatience. You want it to be quick and easy. This approach builds a rigid plan that you have to adhere to and you have to execute perfectly. But it is simply too heavy to survive that ordinary Tuesday. So the third false exit is waiting for your confidence. We treat confidence as a prerequisite for action when it is almost always the result of action. You don't need confidence to take a small, values aligned step. You only need enough willingness to begin. So, in the next video, we look at one of the strongest ways the stuck loop protects itself, which is procrastination. And we are going to deal with it without shaming you, because you can't shame yourself into movement. You might shame yourself into a first step, but not momentum. So shame is usually not the solution. It is part of the glue that keeps us stuck. So here is your work for this video. Map one loop, not your entire life, just one loop. What do I want? What discomfort shows up? What do I do to avoid it? What relief do I get? What does that relief cost me? Then select a single 5-minute step to engage with that area. If possible, complete it today. While it won't fix every challenge right away, it honors a fundamental reality. You have full permission to start taking action well before you feel completely changed, or confident, or fearless. So if this video helps you see your own loop more clearly, I've created an unstuck loop map that you can download from the link below. It will help you put this on paper and find the exact point where your loop can be interrupted. You will also find other links to resources and ways to connect with me if you want help applying this to your own life, work, marriage, or your next chapter. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.